Hello, welcome back to the brand new session of EC Council's Certified Secure Computer User, and in this session we will discuss about the data encryption. Yes, this is our last session of Secure Computer User. After this, we will go to ethical hacking. So first of all, we need to discuss about the data encryption. What is data encryption and what are the types of encryption, and then encryption standards, then digital certificates, signatures, and cryptographic tools. So before we go ahead in encryption, we need to understand what is plain text, ciphertext, and encryption key. Then we will discuss about the encryption. So you need to just understand that plain text is the original, or you can say unencrypted message or data, while the ciphertext is encrypted version of the plain text, which is typically unreadable without the decryption process. And an encryption key is a unique piece of information used to encrypt and decrypt the message, ensuring only authorized individual can access the plain text. So these are the three important functions, right? These are the three important terminologies which we will use. Now the question came, what is encryption? So encryption is the process of converting plain text into the secret and unreadable form called ciphertext using algorithms and keys to protect the confidentiality and integrity of the information, right? So that is the most important. You can see that if you saw my previous mail communication slides, then you will get that particular slides as well for the encryption, right? So you can see here is a Bob and Alice which are receiving the mail, and Bob is sending the mail, or something like they are just sending the message and Alice is receiving the message. So how Bob is sending the plain text, then it will encrypt the data, then it will encrypt data will be received by the Alice, and Alice will receive the plain data after the decryption, right? So that is the process of encryption or decryption. Then what is the objective of encryption? We need to understand. So the objective of encryption is to secure and protect the sensitive information by making it unreadable to unauthorized individuals. So there are three processes. That first is data integrity, authentication, and non-repudiation. So the non-repudiation means the sender of a message cannot deny that he or she has sent the message. Authentication means the receiver of a message can verify the origin of the message. Non-repudiation, you can have an example of end-to-end encryption of WhatsApp. Authentication, you can have an example of two-step verification. And data integrity means obviously the receiver of a message can check whether the message was modified during the transmission, either accidentally or deliberately. So nowadays, if you use Teams, Microsoft Teams, so you can see that if you are editing any kind of message, so Team will show you the message is edited, right? If you are using iMessage application, so if you are editing any kind of sent messages, then yes, it will show you this message was edited. But nowadays we are not having any kind of option for editing messages in WhatsApp. But yes, these three methods we are using in encryption. Now you can find out the uses of encryption. So encryption is used for various purposes, right? You can see there are I have mentioned a lot of things, but let me just tell you about some interesting point. That is encryption is we are using encryption for the confidentiality. It ensures that only authorized individual can access and understand the encrypted information, protecting it from the unauthorized disclosure. Then it will also use for data integrity, where encryption can verify the integrity of the data by detecting any unauthorized modifications or tampering the attempts. Then third, authentication, which we have discussed in earlier slide, that encryption can be used in combination with digital signatures to verify the authenticity of the sender and ensure that the receiver data has not been altered. Then there is one more point which I am remembering, and that is a secure communication, right? So encryption is we are using encryption for use in secure communication channels such as VPN, securing messaging apps, and secure emails to protect the privacy of the transmitted data. storage protection is also there. So encryption can be used to protect sensitive data stored on the device servers on cloud platforms, safeguarding it even if physical access is gained. So as we discussed in earlier session that we can use storage encryption as well, like BitLocker or something like that. And one more thing which I am remembering, and that is compliance and regulation as well. So encryption is often required by the various industry regulation and data protection laws to ensure the security and privacy of sensitive information. So these kind of uses of encryptions are there. And if I just talk about the types of encryption, yes, yeah, so these are two types of encryption, as I was discussed earlier, that I have mentioned in my mail communication slide. So you can just go through that particular slides and you will see this kind of slides. So there are two types of encryption. In fact, three. I will just discuss with you guys, don't worry. So first is symmetric encryption, right? What is symmetric? Symmetric means encryption which will use a single key for both encryption and decryption, right? You can see the way. This is an animation which you can see. Then second is asymmetric encryption, where the it will involve a pair of keys, a public key for encryption and a private key for decryption, right? So this is known as asymmetric encryption. Yes, there is third point as well, that is hash function. So hash functions are one-way mathematical algorithm that converts input data into fixed size output, and commonly it will use for data integrity verification and password storage as well. And yeah, there is a comparison between symmetric and asymmetric, so you can also go through the both of the points, so you can use one of them. Then what kind of encryption standards we do have? So there are two encryption standards which we are having. First is data encryption standards and the second is advanced encryption standard, that is DES or AES, right? Then what is a digital certificate? So the digital certificate is an electronic card that provides a credential information while performing online transaction. It will also act as an electronic counterpart to a driver's license, passport or membership card, and verifies the identity of all users involved in online transactions or not, right? So it will generally contains details of honor public key, CA signature, right? Then serial number of digital signature, obviously, owner's name, then expiration date of public key, then name of the certificate authority, right? So the next question came, how digital certificate works. So digital certificate use the public key cryptographic to verify the authenticity and integrity of digital information. So they are issued by a trusted certificate authority and contain the owner's public key identification information and then the CA digital signature as well. So when someone receive the digital certificate, they can use the CA public key to verify the certificate signatures, ensuring its validity. So this will enable secure communication, authentication and data integrity verification in various online transactions, right? So how digital signature works we will discuss, but before we go ahead we need to discuss that what is digital signature. So the digital signature implement a symmetric cryptography to simulate the security properties of a signature in digital rather than written form. So the digital signature schemes involve two encryption keys, a private key for signing the message and a public key for verifying the signature. So the digital standards follow the open standard as they are not tied to an individual or manufacturer. So it is often used to implement electronic signatures and can be used by any type of message. So it is independent of the signature verification between the sender and the receiver. So the next question which we were discussing, that how digital signature works. right? So according to our picture, you can understand the digital signature is created using the private key or digital certificate holder. Then it will involve using the cryptographic algorithms to generate a unique mathematical value that is appended to the digital document or message. So this signature verifies the authenticity and integrity of the document, and as it can be verified by anyone. So using the corresponding public key, if the document is altered in a way after the signature is applied, the verification process will fail, and ensuring the integrity of the document and providing assurance of the signatures, or you can say the signer's identity as well. So this is how the digital signature works. There are some cryptographic tool which you can use. TrueCrypt is there. You can also use steganography tool for, like, quick stego is there. Then you can also use snow. We will have a demonstration for the same in ethical hacking part, so don't worry about it. So we need to just be careful about the cryptographic tool TrueCrypt, which will create a virtual encrypted disk within a file and mounts it as a real disk. And there are some more cryptographic tools which you can use for the same purpose. And last but not the least, that module summary, that encryption is the process of converting data into ciphertext that cannot be understood by the unauthorized people. Then symmetric encryption uses only one key for both encryption and decryption, whereas asymmetric encryption uses a public key for encryption and private key for decryption. Encryption will provide you the higher level of trust when receiving files from other source by ensuring that the source and contents of message are trusted. Then we discussed two more things. The first is digital certificate, which is an electronic card that provide credential information when performing online transaction. And the second, a digital signature, implements a symmetric cryptographic to simulate the security properties of a signature in digital rather than written form. So don't get hooked. Think before you click. Stay protected while you are connected with network.